Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Happy Sexy Health. I am excited to be here with Paula, and Paula's just finished our 21-day primal body reset, and I can't wait to share with you her results. What I loved about what Paula said that she got out, one of the best things she got out was feeling satisfied with food and not feeling guilty about what she's eating. And that is so powerful, isn't it? So many of us, men and women, but especially women, I think, never have that satisfaction and constantly feel hungry. Paula, welcome to the show.
You. I am so excited to be here, Steph.
Oh, well, we are so excited to have you. So, Paula, it would be great. Just a little bit of background for the people who don't know how fabulous you are. If you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Okay, so my name is Paula Burns. I'm a loving, creative individual. I talk about just like my own personalities as well, because I'm not just about business. And I love people. I love food. I love being creative. I love music. So many facets about me as an individual. And that means that I work mainly with midlife business women to help them create a powerful and dynamic message so they can stand out with their business.
Thanks, Paula. So, what was your life like before you joined the reset? How were you feeling about your body and health?
Oh my goodness. I feel felt like I had to just resign myself to being bigger as I was getting older. This is what I've seen around. Like, as you get older, you're just going to get bigger. There's nothing you can do about it because I think all my life I've always struggled with my weight. So I've always felt like, oh, well, I was a bit chubby and shorter. So I'm not tall and tall person. So I couldn't sort of hide my weight. And I just felt like I was constantly always thinking, oh, well, if I relax with my food, I'm I'm gonna put weight on and that's what's gonna happen. When I was younger, I could easily do different diets and lose really quickly. But I found now coming up to the age that I am and my big 60, that
Uh,
I wasn't feeling, I couldn't lose the weight. I just couldn't lose it. No matter what I did, I couldn't lose it. And so I resigned myself, this is my life. My weight's just going to keep going up. And that's it. That's how I felt.
do you know what, Paula? I think so many of us can relate. You just feel like your weight's going up and there's nothing you can do about it. Everything you know to do, you have tried, it has not worked.
Hmm.
So, because of that, having had that experience as I had and many others have had, where you feel like you've tried everything, nothing has worked, what made you decide to give this reset a go?
Well, let's chance the loom, really. Let's just try this. I think because we've known each other for a while and I knew that you talked really highly about it. You were absolutely sold on it. It was the best thing since sliced bread, pardon the pun, because we don't talk about bread. But it was just the best thing. And I thought, okay, you're doing this 21-day reset. What have I got to lose? It's 21 days. Come on. I need to try it. So I thought, right, I'm going to try this. What I did feel at the time, and I'll be honest with you, I was quite skeptical. I thought, well, I'll try it, see how it works, and I may be able to lose a bit or whatever, or maybe it's not going to work for me. But I thought maybe I'd go through those same feelings of lack or feeling hungry or not feeling satisfied that I've gone through with the diets. So yeah, my mind was totally blown.
Which makes me so happy. So you mentioned you were skeptical. So what else were you nervous about before trying something that was as different as primal eating is?
I think it was the fact that it didn't include what I'd always thought about being a balanced diet. It didn't include like a bit of carbs, vegetables, fruit. It didn't include any of those things. And I just couldn't get my head around the fact that something like that could be good for you. So I think that's where my skepticism came from. How could I, how would I feel well enough if I was just going to be eating meat? And I feel that during the 21 days, it was the variety as well. So it wasn't just the meat. I think I had it fixated in my head. That's all I'd be eating was meat. But there was a variety of things that we could eat following this primal way of eating, which also made it interesting and easier to follow.
And we were just saying before we started rolling, it was great seeing all the photos coming in of what people were eating and getting new
Yeah.
ideas of
Oh,
what to
I
have.
know.
So I think people thinking about doing it, you'd be worried, what am I going to eat? So tell us, because you were skeptical and had your own concerns, what did you eat in the first few days?
Oh my goodness. Well, thought about all my favorite meat that I liked. So I thought, right, okay, this is what I'll start with. And so belly pork, which obviously we've all been told fatty meats, whatever. But I thought that was, I heard that bantered around a lot in the group and from yourself as well. So, and it was one of my favorite meats anyway. So I had belly pork. I also had oxtail, which I absolutely love as well. Chicken is one of my staple meats, but I tend to have a lot of chicken anyway. So I kept the chicken in my diet, but then I also introduced the red meats and mince. I like making meatballs, so I made my own sort of cheesy meatballs or just my normal plain meatballs from that. And I just thought about the different things I could do with the meats that I liked. I'm intolerant to certain fishes or fish dishes. It's prompted me now to find out what I can't eat in terms of seafood, because I'd love to be able to add those into my diet as well. But at the moment, it's just mainly meats and sausage, bacon, eggs, cheese, soft cheese, hard cheese, mozzarella. It's just amazing.
Brilliant,
So good.
brilliant. So you survived the first few days, and did anything surprise you about how your body responded to this way of eating?
Yeah, it's being satisfied. I was just totally satisfied with having my meal. And I was thinking, well, is this going to be enough? Yes, I added a few bits of the green stuff because I think you can't take away something that we've just been conditioned to for so long. And I think I like that variety of having just a little bit with my meat and maybe a few bits fried halloumi and a little bit of veg next to it. It was filling. So that really surprised me. I was so surprised. And within a couple of days, I didn't have to have 3 meals. I was having just 2 meals. Wasn't hungry when I woke up in the morning that I had to go rush and get some cereal or whatever, because obviously we weren't not eating cereal. But I found that I was full, I was satisfied, and I began to think more clearly about why I was eating. Did I need to eat anything, or was I just like, oh, I just need to pick at something? So I'm a very snacky person. Always love to have a little bit of a snack, cup of tea, a biscuit. Crisps is a big thing for me as well. So yeah, within a couple of days, I was starting to feel like, oh, this feels like it could work. And not as I didn't feel as heavy either. Again, you think the red meat would make you feel quite heavy and very lethargic, and it didn't. Clear mind, clear brain. Yeah, it was very soon. In the first week, I couldn't believe how quickly my whole attitude had changed in just 1 week.
Yeah, brilliant, brilliant. It does make you feel lighter and more energetic. What did a typical day of eating look like for you, Paula? Give us your 2 meals that you might have.
Okay, so one of the things that I was quite worried about is the fact that I felt like having eggs and bacon and stuff was going to be a bit too much for me in the morning, because my usual thing was a bowl of cereal, 30 grams of cereal, maybe like a wholemeal slice of bread, a cup of tea. I felt that was quite light. So compared to that, I was feeling like having to eat like sausages, bacon, whatever was going to be a bit too much. But typically, what I do and what I did is I alternated between having the eggs and bacon. So 2 fried eggs with bacon, or I might have 2 boiled eggs with sausage and bacon or something like that. A little bit of cheese on the side. That's one morning. But then another morning, what I would have is like Greek yogurt. So I could have like full fat Greek yogurt with cream mixed with it and maybe like a creamy coffee. And that gave me my satisfaction of having just something light if I didn't feel like having like the eggs and the bacon and whatever. So that's how my mornings panned out. And they were usually late morning as well. So I find that I didn't have to eat really early in the mornings anymore because I didn't really feel hungry. So I'd have brunch. And then later on in the day, probably about 5 o'clock. I think as we went on, we talked about eating within a window as well. So try not to eat too late. But my evening meal then would be my meat. So whether that was lamb or what I tended to do is maybe mix lamb with, I'd have then chicken with it as well. Or I'd have like a steak with mushroom and cream sauce, which is so nice. And it was things like that you thought, oh my gosh, this is really tasty. So, and I'd never experienced that before eating so-called healthily.
That's the main thing, is that it's so satisfying. You don't feel like you're on a restrictive diet because you're not. So
Oh,
thanks, Paula, because it's good for people to hear about what it actually means in terms of meals. And whether, well, your egg muffins were amazing, weren't they? And you did a reel about them on Instagram.
I did. They're my favorite go-to snack. I find they're probably the closest to my bread, my bread fixation, because it's something that I can just like eat with a cup of tea, or I can just pull and just eat if I just fancy a little snack. And they're so easy to make. It's just eggs, cheese. I put a bit of cream in mine and just mix that all together. Sometimes I put bacon or ham in there, and then I just put them in the muffin tins, and they rise really quickly. In about 10 minutes, they're done. And then I just store them in the fridge. So yeah, they're one of my favorites. I've got some stored away now, made some today.
Brilliant, brilliant. Right, I'll be round.
And also when I'm going out, because obviously if I'm like working out and about, I can bring things like, that's the kinds of things I bring with me, like the muffins, a bit of cheese and the pork scratchings. That's another thing.
All the things that feel like guilty
Yeah.
pleasures, which are
Yeah.
actually are good for you.
Oh.
So your results, tell us more about the things that changed for you.
Energy wise, yes, it did. I slept better as well. I feel like I'd slept better because normally I was waking up, say, about 3 o'clock in the night and not being able to go back to sleep. Now I find that I can go right in a deep sleep and I'm gone for the whole night, which is great. And yeah, I don't feel as heavy in my mind either or in my body. And I think sometimes when you feel heavy in your body, your mind feels really heavy as well. And
Yes.
I feel that's how I was getting. I was like, oh my gosh, I just feel so lethargic. It's like the energy is just drained from you when you've got the weight on or when you're not eating the right food to really lift you. So yeah, those are the things that I really felt.
Yeah, because you mentioned here beforehand, one of the things was fatigue, so that's gone. And what about the joint pain? Have you seen any difference there?
It depends because I think with me, like I do a lot of walking and it depends because I do the gym now a lot. So I find myself if I am doing like on a Tuesday of a week, I do a lot of walking, probably do about 20,000 steps. And then the next day, boom, well, the day before that, I would have been in the gym as well. So I do still feel those aches and pains from the gym. And I know they're from that. So I don't know whether I feel because I go so regularly, whether I don't give myself enough time to recover from that.
Mm.
But yes, sometimes I still feel the aches and pains, but yeah, but I'm as I say, the energy wise is it's been really good.
And as you continue, you might find it alleviates because it usually comes from inflammation. It can come because of gym aches and pains. But ongoing joint pain is about inflammation, and the low carb way of eating, the primal way of eating, can help to reduce down that inflammation. That's why we feel
Yeah.
look less puffy, but we also feel lighter, as you say. And
Yeah.
as the inflammation goes down, the aches and pains. So that might be something that happens over the next few weeks, Paula.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also, you lost 3 pounds in the 21 days and 2 inches from your waist and hips.
Yes.
So,
I'm
so
amazed.
that's phenomenal. Have that a start. And obviously, it is just the start. And I know you'll continue on. You've talked about how this changed the way that you think about food and health. And so, what do you think it'll mean for you going forwards? How are you going to incorporate things to carry on?
I feel that my mindset has totally changed now. And yeah, I've just come back from shopping now. I bought my usual load of meats and all the things that we talked about during the 21 days. Yeah, I'm totally sold on it. And the way I look at food is that I think even if I see something, because sometimes it's a habit with food. And to anybody listening or watching this, it's just a habit like, oh, I'm going to have a biscuit with my cup of tea, or I'm going to have just grab a bit of cake or whatever. And now I feel like even if I do like habit happens, oh, wouldn't it be nice to have a cup of tea with a biscuit? I'm like, why am I eating that? Why would I even eat it? It's just like, what is the point of it? It's not doing anything good for my body. And that's how I think now, that it's just, it doesn't serve me. So I don't need it. So yeah, it's amazing that I can feel like that, that it's totally changed the way I feel about food. Totally.
Brilliant, because I was speaking to Tony earlier and he was saying about at his gym, there's several people who've lost a really good amount of weight, over 100 pounds, and put it back on
Mm,
because they did it by willpower.
yeah,
Now, we have all been there when you willpower your way through it.
absolutely.
But with this way of eating, it's easy because you feel satisfied. So that you don't have to willpower your way through it.
When you understand the benefits as well, it's not
Mhm.
just, well, I'm just doing this to lose weight. I'm doing this to be healthy.
Speaking of that, Paula, I don't know if you've been able to measure your blood pressure and whether there's been any difference, or maybe you haven't had chance to.
Yeah, I just measured it periodically, and yeah, it's all within the range. It's really good. Had a chat to Jill as well. I was telling her what my readings were. But yes, I'm due to have the review with my doctor pretty soon. So I'll be looking at that and reviewing it as well.
So you might be able to reduce your medications, depends on
Yeah,
what the doctor
absolutely.
says. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm always so delighted when people are able to come off lifetime drugs that you would
Yeah.
otherwise be on for the rest of your life,
Mm,
because when your blood sugar comes down, your blood pressure comes down.
yeah.
And although we've been taught that blood pressure is because of too much salt, it's actually because of too much sugar. We know this because diabetics will most often have high blood pressure.
It goes hand in hand, doesn't it?
It goes hand in hand. And even people who are not diabetic, who have high blood pressure, when they bring their blood sugars down consistently, their blood pressure will come down. So, yeah, as you said, it all goes together. And as you get healthier, you actually begin to feel healthier before you lose a single pound. But then when you get healthier, the weight will come off as well.
Yeah. I was always a slow burner weight wise. It always took ages for me to lose the weight because I feel like my weight is just distributed all over my body. So, and because I'm shorter as well, look at the scales and I'm like, oh, just 3 pounds. But then I can see obviously from the inches and how my clothes fit differently. And yeah, I know I'm losing it.
Yeah, and your face looks so different as well. And I think all of that is inflammation going down. So there's whole processes going on inside your body, and then when it's ready, it will let go and it'll all
Yeah.
happen. I think it's going to happen in a whoosh for you.
Yeah.
Um,
I know I'm familiar with my body. I know how it works. So I know when I've done other, and I don't even call this a diet because it's not a diet. It's just a new way of thinking how you eat. But I know when I've gone to try and lose weight before, it's happened. Like I know I've been good the whole week and I've done exercise and all of this stuff. And then I go on the scales and sometimes I put a pound on or I've lost a pound and I'm like, what? So,
yeah.
and then, as you say, I can just go and I've lost like a few 5 pounds or something like that. So, yeah.
Yeah. However, when on the previous diets, because I would be in the same category, when you're insulin resistant, which likely we are because of these weight struggles, it means that when you eat a normal, healthy, even a low amount, even a diet amount, but when it's carbs, because of high insulin, you can't actually
Yeah,
let go of the fat.
exactly.
So this way, we can eat a lot more than we could before,
Yeah.
both in terms of the amount and the calories, and lose weight.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm just a number one fan of this. It's that main thing is just the mindset change, the satisfaction. Yeah, it's huge. It is
Yeah.
really huge.
What would you say to someone who's curious like you were, but they're scared to try it?
I would say, look, just go through it. It's only 21 days. That's what I said to myself. I know Nikki instead, but I was saying to myself, look, you know what? I'll try this for 21 days. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's only 21 days. But it was the best decision that I could have made. And I feel like if you are on the edge or you're thinking about it, you should definitely try it and see how it affects your mindset, see how it affects your body, and just be open to it, really, even with all the skepticism. Don't worry about it because I had all of that, but just jump in, give it your all, have all the foods that you like, but within we have that framework of what we've got to eat, like I did, all the types of meats that I like and the types of dairy things and all of these things. You find the things that work for you, and you will, I promise you, you won't regret it.
And you had your best mate on there with you.
Yeah.
So that must have been lovely to be able to do it together.
It was. And she's totally sold as well. Oh my goodness. And she's lost so much weight. But
Yeah.
she says herself, yeah, she just carried it around the middle. And again, when we're older, we carry it around our middle, and it's so hard to lose that weight around your middle. And so this is why this diet really, or this way of eating, just really targets those areas.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's great that we could swap ideas and going, oh my gosh, this is happening, or that's happening with our bodies, or really enjoying this type of food, or whatever. So yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And also, we had the WhatsApp group where
yeah,
all of the other members for the reset were in
yeah.
there. And how did you find that, Paula?
So much activity in that group. That group is worth its weight in gold. Because what happened is that we were all on our journey when we all started. We all had probably a bit of skepticism, but we all threw ourselves into it and we all supported each other, but not us just supporting each other. There was both yourself and Nikki in the group all the time, just really cheering us on, giving us all the information that we needed to keep going. And not that we needed it. It was just obviously we had so much information in the workbooks that we were provided with that we could update with information about what our journey was like. There was also we could put questions in about how we were feeling, what we were eating, and the responses were coming back quick and fast. And it was just honestly, we were totally supported. It felt like we were in a sort of like a different world of being part of the group. A world where everyone could see the light.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was wonderful just being part of that group.
Yeah. for Nikki and I hosting it. It was wonderful to have you in the group, Paula, and your friend Jill, who lost a huge amount of weight. Everyone in that group, as you said, so supportive of each other,
Yeah.
so friendly, so all in. It just create this amazing it pushes you on. It gives you ideas, inspires you. So really, really important part of
And
it.
the other thing was the glucose monitor that we wore for the 14 days. Oh my gosh, that again was an eye opener. So it's great because as part of these 21 days, we're encouraged to get this glucose monitor that we just attach, we put on our arm. And you can see how the foods affect your sugar levels. So whatever, not that we were eating anything that we shouldn't, but we could see then how our levels just stayed in a sort of like a level in a, what's the word? It didn't have any peaks where, yeah, peak points. So we could really understand what was happening with our sugar levels in our body while we were eating. So yeah, that was really good. Loved having that.
Yeah. Well, Paula, what's next for you on this journey? I know that you're keen to carry on. You've already said that a number of times. Have you got any goals that you're working towards, or just tell us a little bit about how you're carrying things forward after the reset?
Yeah, I feel like I want to lose at least a stone and a half more, if 2 stone if I can. But yeah, for me, it's just continuing eating the way I'm eating and
Mm,
being able to feel good about myself, to feel good, not just externally, but internally as well.
mhm,
I can see this for the foreseeable future. And it's not to say that I might maybe dip in and have something, but
mm,
to me, I feel like I couldn't overeat on anything that I shouldn't. That I
mhm.
know that it has an effect on my body. But right now, I feel I want to put myself 100% into this for the next few months at least, so that I
Yeah.
can continue to see the benefits of it.
Yeah, that's amazing, Paula. And I was looking through the workbooks and I'd seen that you said at the beginning, you'd asked yourself, can I do this? And you absolutely can. You absolutely could. And you did,
I did it. I did it.
which is phenomenal. And I really thank you for coming on the show and sharing what your experiences were. You're looking absolutely glowing.
You-
And so thank you, Paula, and thank you, sexy listeners and viewers, for watching and being here. If you feel that this could be something for you, then do DM us with the word 21 if you're interested in the 21-day reset, or 90 if you're interested in the 90-day reset. Or you could go low carb on your own. But if you do need that support, DM us and find out more. We'd love to be part of your success story. So that's all for this week. I will see you again soon. Bye for now.
Bye.